As for Kai Lin, her expression remained calm, though her beautiful eyes were fixed on the towering 1,000-meter figure of the tin-colored sky-devouring python. Although the python hadn't released its aura, an invisible pressure still weighed down on her, though it wasn't as oppressive as the pressure on the 9-colored python. Even though the little energy snake possessed the legendary power of the tin-colored sky-devouring python, for some reason, it didn't seem to affect Kai Lin much. What's happening now? Kai Lin's pupils suddenly widened in shock. The tin-colored sky-devouring python's body started flickering with the power of the tin colors. The moment the power appeared, the surrounding space collapsed instantly. Congeal. The mysterious woman let out a cold snort, and the space quickly stabilized. Boom, boom, boom. The aura around the tin-colored sky-devouring python surged, and the overwhelming power of the tin colors gathered from its body into a single point before it. Gradually, something began to take shape within the glowing point. Kai Lin slowly lifted her gaze. Floating in midair was a single drop of blood, an eerie, blood-red color. As it lay suspended in the void, an earth-shaking force radiated from it, making the heavens tremble. The moment this sinister, blood-red drop appeared, both Kai Lin and the 9-colored python, who had long since bowed to the ground, felt their own blood boil, their bodies trembling violently in response. This is the essence blood of the tin-colored sky-devouring python? Kai Lin couldn't help but swallow, her delicate lips suddenly dry. There's not much time left, so let's skip the small talk. The mysterious woman's voice was tinged with impatience. In all my thousands of years on the Dodi continent, I've encountered hundreds of people with Medusa bloodlines, but most of them only possessed diluted bloodlines or remnants of ancient, heavenly serpents. You're the first woman I've encountered who, through your own strength, has evolved into a 9-colored sky-devouring python and also holds the royal status of the Medusa lineage. I'm placing these things in your hands, hoping for a return someday. The mysterious woman's voice held a certain depth, her eyes revealing a trace of sorrow that didn't escape Kai Lin's notice. What you see before you is the essence blood of the tin-colored sky-devouring python. By absorbing it, you will evolve into the legendary tin-colored python. As for the 9-colored python that follows you, it cannot directly devour the essence blood. If it tries, it will die from the sheer power, so the best option is for it to absorb the energy snake of the tin-colored python instead. As for what the two of you can achieve in the future, I cannot say. The 1,000-meter python spoke in a low, ancient voice. Is there some unresolved issue between you two, senior? Kai Lin asked, despite her deep desire for the essence blood before her. Ever observant, she had sensed something unusual in the exchange between the tin-colored python and the mysterious woman. Heh, what a sharp girl, the python hissed softly, its tongue flicking out. You caught on, little one, the mysterious woman admitted, releasing a sigh. Please, speak freely, senior, Kai Lin replied with respect. No matter what, she and this mysterious woman, with her tin-colored python power, were of the same race. Besides, the value of the essence blood and the energy snake was beyond measure, prompting Kai Lin to ask. The Sky-Devouring Python clan has always been one of the top races in the Great Thousand Worlds. With every evolution, from one color to 10, terrifying bloodlines or unique energies are required. A one-colored python can only cultivate to the peak of 1-star Dosien. No matter how extraordinary your talent is, you can't advance a single step beyond it. The only way to break through this bottleneck is to evolve your bloodline. But a 10-colored python can transcend the Dosien level, step into the realm of Doshun, and enter the supreme path. That's the terrifying power of the 10-colored sky-devouring python. The mysterious woman's eyes gleamed with pride. However, with great power comes the wrath of the heavens and the envy of others. This is why the Sky-Devouring Python clan's numbers are so few. Forget 9-colored pythons, even 7-colored pythons are exceedingly rare. Thousands of years ago, the Lord of the Monster Realm, for reasons unknown, suddenly led the strongest of the realm in an assault on our clan. In that battle, many of our Sky-Devouring pythons were killed, and the monster realm's lord took our bodies back to the realm's center, imprisoning them for some nefarious purpose. The state you see us in now is but a remnant of the power that managed to escape back then. If we are to restore the Sky-Devouring Python clan, we must venture into the heart of the monster realm. I, as the tin-colored python, will not allow the monster realm's lord to desecrate us in this way. The mysterious woman's aura surged, emanating a terrifying power. Though the road won't be easy, restoring the Sky-Devouring pythons will be my responsibility, Kai-Lin said quietly, her voice filled with determination. As her words fell, all three beings in the space turned their gazes toward her with newfound intensity. The nine-colored python, being Kai-Lin's companion spirit, knew her well and could tell how serious she was about this decision. It was rare for Kai-Lin, usually so composed, to make such a bold commitment, indicating just how resolved she had become. Why are you all staring at me? Since the two seniors have bestowed such a great gift upon me, I can't be ungrateful. After all, as someone once said, you don't take without earning it, Kai-Lin murmured, her mind briefly flashing to a towering figure with a heavy ruler strapped to his back. Kai-Lin was confident that once she absorbed the essence blood of the tin-colored python, her strength would skyrocket. On the Dochi continent, Kai-Lin had grown dissatisfied with merely being a dutiful wife to Xiaoyan. Her royal bloodline as the Queen Medusa had stirred a sense of pride deep within her. Remember, do not enter the monster realm unless you've reached the level of a 5-star Docian. The relationships within the 7 realms are already deeply intertwined. Once our bodies are freed, we can use special methods to resurrect ourselves. At that time, the monster realm will have to pay for its new and old debts together. The mysterious woman snorted coldly. Understood. At that moment, it seemed that the 4 of them had reached a mutual understanding, and they exchanged knowing glances. Start absorbing it now. This process will take some time, the mysterious woman instructed calmly. In the next instant, the tin-colored python transformed into a streak of light and rushed toward the 9-colored python. As the energy snake entered its body, the 9-colored python felt its aura and even its soul begin to transform. Once the fusion was complete, it, too, would ascend to become a fearsome tin-colored python. Looks like I can't afford to lag behind. Glancing at the fusing 9-colored python, Kai-Lin clenched the essence blood of the tin-colored python in her hand and whispered, Xiaoyan, your life belongs to me, no matter if it's the continent of Do-Chi or the Do-Di continent. At that moment, Kai-Lin didn't notice the faint glow emitted by the soul jade she carried with her. It was a clear sign that Xiaoyan was nearby. After finishing her words, Kai-Lin immediately began absorbing the essence blood of the tin-colored Sky-Devouring python. In the mysterious space, 2 enormous serpent shadows, alongside the elegant figures of 2 women, stood silently. Both Kai-Lin and the 9-colored python souls and Do-Chi strength were gradually rising. I wonder if this essence blood can help me break through to Do-Xian. As far as I know, the Medusa clan in the mystic 3 heavens has never produced a Do-Xian serpent folk, let alone one with royal Medusa blood, the mysterious woman said softly. My queen, we must go now. We still have to search for the other scattered members of our clan, the tin-colored python said respectfully from beside her. Let's go. I hope what I've entrusted to you will succeed, the mysterious woman murmured. As for the lord of the monster realm, I don't know why you attacked our Sky-Devouring python clan back then, but the hatred of annihilation is irreconcilable. With those words, the surrounding space surged with power, and in the blink of an eye, the mysterious woman and the tin-colored python disappeared from the space entirely. As the 2 figures vanished, the space returned to its tranquil state. In the depths of the desolate death desert, the temperature was unbearably scorching. Without a sufficient water supply, even a Do-Di expert wouldn't last long here, as the desert possessed certain forces that prevented even Do-Di experts from absorbing the Do-Chi of heaven and earth to replenish themselves. A group of 7 figures slowly emerged in the heart of the desert. Damn it! How can an alchemist have more stamina than me? Aren't alchemists supposed to focus solely on refining pills and be fragile, pampered individuals? A man with a scar muttered in disbelief before quickly catching up. Ahead of him was a man carrying a massive, heavy ruler on his back. The man's body was surrounded by a milky white flame, which formed an invisible barrier around him, shielding him from the desert's scorching heat. Thus, even the extreme temperatures of the desert were no obstacle for this man. Scarred Man had been ordered by the leader of the Blood Blade mercenary group to protect Xiao Yin. If anything happened to this alchemist, he would be in serious trouble. Given the leader's temper, Scarred Man was all too aware of the consequences. "Brother Xiao Yin, slow down a bit," Scarred Man panted as he called out from behind. "Since I've agreed to this cooperation, I have to show my strength accordingly. With my powerful soul force, it's best that I take the lead here," Xiao Yin replied with a gentle smile. Little Yi and Mu Yingying, who were walking beside Xiao Yin, nodded slightly in agreement. Xiao Yin wasn't reckless. His decision to lead was due in part to the strange reaction from the heavenly flame within his body and his concern that the others might betray them. Caution was necessary. "Brother Xiao Yin, you're too kind. We should be handling this. Once we reach our destination, we'll still be relying on you, after all," Scarred Man replied with a smile, though his intentions were all too clear. "There's no need. The dangers here are ever present, so it's best I take the lead. Besides, I don't mind using up a little soul power." Xiao Yan's tone was calm and composed. This young man, if he rises to prominence in the future, he'll undoubtedly be a ruler of his domain. Such courage, such presence, Scarred Man thought to himself, secretly admiring Xiao Yin. After all, since entering the desolate Death Desert, Xiao Yin had taken care of him numerous times, and this had warmed Scarred Man's heart. As they walked slowly through the desert, a group of serpent folk, a few thousand meters away, had already spotted Xiao Yin and his companions. Hiss, hiss. A small snake slithered out from the sand and made its way toward a certain woman's hand. These little snakes acted as informants, gathering intelligence. Once the snake returned to the woman's hand, her serpent-like pupils flickered with curiosity. "Captain, it seems some humans have entered the vicinity of our divine hall. Should we?" The speaker was an enchanting woman whose revealing outfit barely covered her vital areas, leaving her alluring waist and jade-like legs exposed. Her entire being radiated an air of seductive charm. The one she spoke to was none other than the Blue Flower Serpent. Considering the chaos our Medusa clan is currently facing, kill them." The Blue Flower Serpent's voice was casual, but the intense killing intent that surged from her was unmistakable. "Yes, understood," the seductive woman replied. She then led two other women who were following the Blue Flower Serpent and moved in the direction of Xiao Yan's group. "Let's go. The Medusa Divine Hall is nearby," the Blue Flower Serpent said, her killing intent dissipating as she spoke to Lu Di and Mu Feng. "Mysterious humans. Xiao Yin said we'd meet up in the desert area. Could it be them?" Lu Di murmured. "Senior, where exactly is this desert area?" Mu Feng asked. He remembered clearly that Xiao Yin had told them to meet up in the desert area. The desert area? The desert area is actually directly opposite our Medusa clan's divine hall, separated by only a few hundred meters. Quite close indeed. But that place is one of the 3 most dangerous locations in the desolate Death Desert. Even I wouldn't dare to enter lightly. What are you planning? The Blue Flower Serpent's voice took on a slightly different tone toward the end. "An ancient pact," Lu Di responded casually. "In that case, be careful. Once we reach the Divine Hall, we'll go our separate ways. Without my help, it's not easy for an ordinary person to approach the Divine Hall. The perimeter is full of deadly traps." The Blue Flower Serpent chuckled. "Let's go," Lu Di replied with a nod, and the group continued toward the Medusa Divine Hall. Although they didn't know the exact location of the Divine Hall, Lu Di, with his serpent folk bloodline, was very curious about its whereabouts. Meanwhile, in another part of the desert, about a dozen kilometers from Xiao Yan's group, another team of 11 figures appeared in the sands. As the large group arrived, an oppressive aura filled the desert, making even the sand tremble in fear. According to the memories we extracted from that enchanting serpent tribe member, the Medusa clan's divine hall should be here. A graceful figure stepped forward and said, Are you sure this is the place, Yao Xian? The Xinling king, dressed in expensive golden robes, asked cautiously. Despite his senses, he hadn't detected anything unusual in the area. I'm sure. I used an advanced memory extraction technique, Yao Xian confirmed confidently. Yao Xian is likely correct, Yimo added, scanning the empty desert around them. But where exactly is the Medusa Divine Hall? Members of the Dragon Devourer Legion murmured among themselves, feeling perplexed by the situation. Sometimes, what the eye see isn't always the truth, Qin Tian, the commander of the Dragon Devourer Legion, said slowly as he opened his eyes, his voice carrying a weight of experience. What the eyes see isn't always real. Qin Tian's words left the Xinling king's eyes rotating slightly, as a terrifying thought brewed in his mind. Could it be? The next moment, the Xinling king seemed to grasp what his uncle Qin Tian meant. He casually waved his hand, sending out 4 beams of energy toward the northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest. Swish, swish. The terrifying waves of energy shot toward the 4 directions. 3 beams flew endlessly into the distance, while the beam headed north mysteriously disappeared. Found it, the Xinling king said, his pupils radiating with a fiery intensity as a smile slowly spread across his face. Let's go. Yimo nodded slightly and addressed the others. Move out. The group of powerful figures responded in unison, raising their steps and heading deeper into the desert. This place feels odd. Gu Lang, usually silent, stared at the desert ahead with suspicion. For some reason, something strange seemed to be emerging from beneath the sand, as if something lay hidden just below the surface. At that moment, Tang Tang, Tu Lang, and Gu Lang were positioned at the rear of the group. Gu Lang? What is it? Tang Tang noticed Gu Lang's unease and, sensing the tension in his voice, began scanning their surroundings cautiously. Something's approaching. Everyone, stay alert. Gu Lang suddenly shouted, and in an instant, a massive surge of Do-Chi erupted from his body, preparing to defend against any imminent threat. Gu Lang might not have strong soul power, but his perception is quite sharp, detecting something so subtle, Xiao Yin said in mild surprise from the front of the group. The desert in front of them did indeed have an unusual disturbance, but Xiao Yin had chosen not to mention it, wanting to observe what was coming. He was impressed that Gu Lang had managed to sense it before anyone else. Swish. Suddenly, the desert in front of the 7 of them began to shift and ripple violently. Intruders on Medusa clan territory. Kill without mercy. A cold, disembodied voice echoed from all directions. In the shifting sands before Xiao Yan's group, 3 graceful serpentine figures emerged, each with an alluring yet deadly presence. 1 7-star Do-Di and 2 6-star Do-Dis. Tang Tang's usually calm face turned serious, clearly feeling the immense pressure from the 3 serpent folk. While Tang Tang's group consisted of an 8-star Do-Di, a 7-star Do-Di, 2 6-star Do-Dis, and 3 5-star Do-Dis, an undeniably powerful lineup, Tang Tang's expression remained grave. After all, they had yet to reach their destination, and conserving energy was crucial. They were deep in Medusa territory, and a battle that attracted more powerful members of the serpent folk could lead to disastrous consequences. Swish, swish. The 3 serpent folk were none other than the guards who had just left the side of the blue flower serpent. Without a word, they moved swiftly, their speed stirring up the sand beneath their feet. The rapid motion created a terrifying sandstorm, the sand rising with the intensity of their movement and forming a deadly whirlpool of yellow sand. If I'm not mistaken, these 3 should be Medusa serpent guards, Tang Tang muttered, her Do-Chi slowly leaking out from her body. Yet, despite the rising tension, she refrained from unleashing her full power, only emitting the aura of an early 7-star Do-Di. Medusa serpent guards? Mu Yingying's eyes widened in surprise at the mention. Yes, the Medusa serpent guards are said to be an elite force surpassing all 9 tribes of the Medusa clan. It's rumored that their captain is a formidable 9-star Do-Di. As for the guards themselves, their strength is always at least at the 6-star Do-Di level. The squad leaders, on the other hand, are typically no weaker than 7-star Do-Dis. Judging by their formation, One of these three must be a squad leader, and the other two are serpent guards, Tang Tang explained slowly. Do you need our help? Little E asked from the side. Not yet. My team can handle them for now. As soon as we lose them, we must move quickly. The desert area is just ahead, Tang Tang replied before glancing over at Xiao Yin, her expression suggesting she was deep in thought. How odd. This serpent guard squad leader's soul power is rather terrifying. Having already reached the Imperial realm, she must be an exceptional figure among the Medusa serpent guards, Xiao Yin thought to himself as he observed the graceful yet dangerous woman. Still, despite her being a woman, I have to say, Tang Tang truly lives up to her reputation as the leader of the Blood Blade mercenary group. Her battle instincts are impressive, Xiao Yin reflected, admiring her strategic arrangement. Under these circumstances, the 3 5-star Do Dis in their group had become liabilities. Tu Lang, Gu Lang, finish them quickly. Wu Yu, protect him. The rest of you, be ready to adapt. Tang Tang barked out her orders, her Do Chi surging as a terrifying wave of energy slowly enveloped her body. An early 7-star Do Di and 2 perfect 6-star Do Dis, but that flame-wielding man is unusual. The power of his fire is remarkable. It even makes me feel uneasy, the alluring serpent guard squad leader mused to herself as she watched the group. It's strange, though, that man carrying the heavy ruler feels oddly familiar. She murmured quietly, Squad leader, let's finish this quickly and go assist Lord Blue Flower Serpent. After all, she mentioned things have been unstable lately, one of the other serpent folk suggested. Understood, the serpent guard squad leader replied softly. Then, the 3 of them suddenly halted in place. However, the overwhelming momentum they had generated earlier had already summoned a massive sandstorm, 100-meter tall, around Xiao Yan's group. The storm, filled with swirling yellow sand, was terrifying. If anyone got caught in it, they'd be torn to shreds. The serpent guard squad leader closed her eyes for a moment before lightly slicing through her flawless, jade-like skin. A drop of crimson blood fell from her wound, but just as it was about to hit the ground, she swiftly caught it with her hand and flung it toward the storm. Swish! As the blood merged with the 100-meter sandstorm, the color of the storm transformed into a strange, emerald hue. Within this eerie green storm, a terrifying and deadly poisonous mist began to spread, a lethal aura filling the air around them. As the poison-laden winds swirled closer, Xiao Yin could feel the dense, noxious gas rapidly encroaching on the small 100-meter space they occupied. If the space filled with this deadly mist, coupled with the 3 serpent guards, their situation would become extremely precarious. Not good. Tang Tang's sharp eyes caught the moment when the Medusa serpent guard squad leader infused her deadly poison-laden blood into the 100-meter sandstorm. A chilling sense of dread instantly surged from the depths of her heart. Tang Tang quickly removed the mask that concealed her face and, with a soft grunt, pushed her speed to the absolute limit. Her body erupted with the fierce energy of an early 7-star Do Di as she charged toward the Medusa serpent guard squad leader. However, the distance between Tang Tang and the 3 serpent guards was considerable, and even with her swift reaction, the terrifying emerald sandstorm had already taken form. Protect the squad leader. The other 2 Medusa serpent guards exchanged glances, their bodies surging with green Do Chi as they moved to block Tang Tang's assault. Just as Tang Tang neared the 100-meter emerald storm, an unexpected scene unfolded. Although the storm carried a ferocious energy that seemed capable of tearing her apart, at the very moment she approached within a meter of it, Tang Tang's entire body was enveloped in a dazzling white light. In a single breath, she broke through the toxic miasma of the emerald storm, her jade-like hand lifting as she pointed her ring finger lightly at the Medusa serpent guard squad leader. With that simple gesture, a 100-meter white energy beam shot from her hand, cutting through the sky like a ray of light in the darkness, slashing down toward the 3 serpent guards on the ground. Too late. Just as the devastating power was about to strike within meters of the Medusa squad leader, she abruptly opened her eyes, and a surge of immense soul power clashed with Tang Tang's 100-meter finger strike. Soul power. Tang Tang muttered under her breath, realizing the strength of her attack was being effortlessly dismantled by the Medusa squad leader's overwhelming soul force. Such a troublesome soul power. But it's time to retreat. There are too many lurking dangers here. Tang Tang snorted coldly, her body once again glowing with transparent white dough chi. At the same time, she pulled out an exquisitely crafted scroll, covered with intricate runes that seemed almost otherworldly. As soon as the scroll appeared, Xiao Yin, who was watching from a distance, narrowed his eyes, his voice filled with shock as he exclaimed, "A single-use dough skill scroll? I never thought the captain would bring out something like this. It took a great deal of resources to obtain. If it weren't for the urgency of the situation, she wouldn't use it so recklessly." Tu Lang and Gu Lang commented quietly. "But if we use it now, things might get even more difficult for us later." The two brothers exchanged uneasy glances. "Don't worry. I'm sure the captain has her reasons," Scarred Man said calmly, standing just 3 meters away from Xiao Yin. "A single-use dough skill scroll?" Mu Yingying asked curiously as she noticed the terrifying power emanating from the scroll in Tang Tang's hand. A single-use dough skill scroll is a scroll imbued with the power of a specific dough skill. Creating one is quite troublesome, but in areas with powerful restrictions, such items can be extremely useful. Xiaoyi explained. Simply put, a dough skill scroll stores a powerful dough skill using special energy, allowing the user to unleash it during a moment of crisis, often catching the enemy off guard. Like the terrifying finger strike Tang Tang just unleashed, it could be recorded onto a dough skill scroll, he added. "I didn't know such things existed," Mu Yingying remarked, her eyes shifting toward Xiao Yin, who seemed deep in thought. For some reason, Mu Yingying sensed a strange fluctuation around Xiao Yin, a fluctuation that had started when the Medusa Serpent Guard squad leader unleashed her soul attack. Is that Serpent Guard squad leader out of her mind? There's no way that weak soul power could match Tang Tang's hidden strength. Yet why do I feel an unsettling sense of fear? Xiao Yan's eyes were fixed on the battle outside the sandstorm, his dark pupils flickering with suspicion. This isn't pure soul power. Suddenly, a terrifying realization hit him. That thing can't be defeated. Call your captain back. Xiao Yan suddenly shouted, his voice booming. Though Xiao Yan didn't know what fearsome dough skill was contained within the scroll Tang Tang held, his powerful perception had detected an overwhelmingly dangerous wave of energy from the soul power unleashed by the Serpent Guard squad leader. The intensity of the wave was so strong it even caused a faint tremor in Xiao Yan's own soul power. "Captain, come back now." Scarred Man hesitated for a moment, but chose to trust Xiao Yan. After all, he had witnessed Xiao Yan's cautious actions throughout their journey. Gathering his dough chi, Scarred Man shouted urgently toward Tang Tang. "What's going on?" Tang Tang had just been about to activate the single-use dough skill scroll to escape the Serpent Guard squad leader when Xiao Yin and Wu Yu's shouts reached her. Reluctantly, she glanced at the 3 Serpent Guards before turning to retreat. Boom, boom, boom. The Serpent Guard squad leader's soul power collided with the emerald sandstorm, sending sparks flying and stirring up an intense aura. Damn it! How did she notice? The squad leader gritted her teeth as her invisible soul power clashed violently against the swirling storm. Boom, boom, boom. A terrifying shockwave erupted from the center of the explosion, sending ripples of energy outward and filling the air with fiery sparks. As the energy ripples spread, everyone's hearts skipped a beat. A soul attack? This Medusa Serpent Guard squad leader is truly terrifying. Xiao Yin realized that the energy ripples hadn't dissipated. Instead, they were hurtling toward the group at a frightening speed. Yellow Spring's Sky Fury. A roar erupted from within the poisonous miasma, forcefully countering the advancing energy ripples. Bam, bam, bam. The energy ripples collided with Xiao Yan's Yellow Spring Sky Fury, and slowly, both forces began to dissipate. Humph! Foiled my plan. The Serpent Guard squad leader outside the storm sneered, casting her gaze toward the poisonous miasma. Her earlier soul attack had been powerful enough to threaten a 7-star Do D. Yet this young man had managed to block it? Xiao Yin, thank you. Tang Tang finally understood why Xiao Yin had been so alarmed earlier. If she had been hit by that soul power, it would have severely impacted her and jeopardized their mission. With Tang Tang's retreat, Xiao Yan's group returned to the center of the Emerald Sandstorm. By now, the storm had grown to 100 meters in size, its swirling force so intense that even someone as powerful as Tang Tang, an 8-star Do D, wouldn't dare to face it head-on. The storm is filled with poisonous miasma, and we're surrounded. Xiao Yin surveyed the situation grimly, taking in the group's dire predicament. Is there any way to break through? We're getting closer to our destination, and we can't afford to be delayed by these creatures for too long. Tang Tang asked, her jade-like hand glowing with a dazzling Do Chi as she put away the Do skill scroll. She then turned her gaze toward Xiao Yin. Give me some time. This Medusa Serpent Guard squad leader possesses formidable soul power, Xiao Yin said solemnly. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Yin closed his eyes and focused, gathering the soul power within his body. A terrifying energy began to rise from him. We must hold them off. If Xiao Yin fails, our entire mission will be doomed. Tang Tang's expression was serious. Despite her strength as an 8-star Do D, the chilling sensation of being inside this poisonous miasma-laden storm crept into her heart. We're in too deep now, let's join the fight. Wu Yu, protect Xiao Yin. Tu Lang and Gu Lang, realizing the gravity of the situation, wasted no time and quickly followed Tang Tang, ready to break through the miasma and charge toward the Medusa Serpent Guard squad leader. Squad leader, these people are not ordinary. They even withstood your soul attack. The two serpent guards beside the squad leader remarked with surprise. The boy with the heavy ruler on his back seems rather unusual, the serpent guard squad leader said softly, a charming smile curling on her crimson lips as she observed them. An overwhelming sense of danger filled the air, as if the calm before the storm was about to break loose.